there are business intelligence kind of like reporting experts out there. You could even hire somebody off of Fiverr, off of Upwork, even if it's just for like a one-time sort of one-off thing, pay them $200, $300, $500 to design these reports for you, and they'll actually do all that Google Sheets stuff for you if you don't feel like, spending 6 hours on YouTube trying to figure it out.
There's an actual equal sign, and then you can click the document, and that brings that link, and so equals that link, and then comma, then that cell with an exclamation point, and it like just brings that information over, copy it over, boom, and now it's manually populating or automatically populating an at a glance. And once I figured it out and finished it, I was like, man, I feel like I just won the Super Bowl, man. I was like, this is cool, this is fun.
Right. But, and then it's going to self-update every single time someone enters in one of those hundreds individual spreadsheets. Every single time one of those changes, your document's going to change. So just like, Mike has set that up basically at no cost. He has real-time data and insights in his business, and it's no wonder he's always at the top of the charts when it comes to competitions and wins all the trophies. And he's able to spend time with his family and travel and run a whole separate business. People ask, how do you do that all? Well, you need to think systematically. You need to set up how do I actually have information on my business and how it's going without being there 24/7 inside a physical office space, just observing people. This is especially true in a virtual setting. So this is really good. I'll do kind of a quick lesson here on, by the way, one other thing I'll say is there are business intelligence kind of like reporting experts out there. You could even hire somebody off of Fiverr, off of Upwork, even if it's just for like a one-time sort of one-off thing, pay them $200, $300, $500 to design these reports for you, and they'll actually do all that Google Sheets stuff for you if you don't feel like, spending 6 hours on YouTube trying to figure it out. So you can just hire that out, and someone will design like really beautiful reports with you with like graphs and color codes and like all these sorts of things. And I think it's just, you might say, oh, it's $500. I don't want to spend $500 on it. It's like, it's kind of one of the best $500 you could spend is just so you have complete analytics of what you're looking at in a really nice format. So that's one thing I would just share is you can hire out for that. Also, some of you are working in businesses where there's a lot of different softwares that you use, right? Now, one of the biggest problems in business is how to get one software to talk to another. Right? It's like this stat is over on here on this platform. This one's over here on this platform. What I need one-stop shop. I need an aggregate place to find these things. And you can also look at software tools like Domo or I think one other one is Zoho. There's all sorts of different products out there that are like business analytics aggregation softwares. There's Smartsheets, which is a really cool one that mostly works off of Google Sheets. These have various different prices. There's Tableau. There's like all sorts of different things you can check out. So if you want to, also spend some time researching actual software aggregators, and then what's cool is you can go into that, design the reports through that, and then it can connect to these different softwares via what's called an API, which is just basically the two computers talking to each other, the two software systems talking to each other. And so it's just constantly pulling that data. Maybe you set it up to ping it every 1 minute or 5 minutes or 60 minutes. And so every minute it's going to check and see if there were any updates on Salesforce, if there are any updates on this platform or that platform or whatever technology you're using, and it's automatically in real time going to be updating the charts and the reports. So you can go to your dashboard, see exactly what's happening in real time with your business. Again, depending on the scale of your business, depending on the war chest currently sitting in your bank account, and how much you think it's worth to spend on this, you can get really sophisticated to where you can see everything at a glance, and it's all kind of moderated operated through technology, you can completely remove the human element for error. So, Mike, I see you smiling over there. What are you smiling about?
That's why I love working with you, brother, because this is what you bring to me, because I've always worked inside of like my small business, and you teaching me how to corporatize my small business, because you had this experience of overseeing over 200 directly and 1,400 overall. Mm-hmm. So to be able to, communicate with the hundreds of people, 1,500 plus people, you had to make sure it was very simple and very organized. And so I love hearing the way you're talking about this, because I'm like, all right, I'm not there with my smaller business, but conceptually, how can I bring that into my smaller business so I can get the exact same outcome, which is to free my time up and free up my intellectual capacity and my creative genius, so I can use that for other parts of analyzing the business and growing the business and evolving it. So sometimes we got to, corporatize our bit. I don't care if you're a solopreneur, just thinking about it in these terms, I think is really beneficial. So I that's like my nerd, my geek hat. I'm hearing you talk about all these technologies and stuff. I'm like, man, that's it's just impressive. So for me, what I receive from that is, if you're listening and you're like me a couple years ago when Andrew was teaching me a lot of this, I'm like, all right, what is my version of this? Like, what is the simple version of what Andrew just said? So we came up with our own like model of how to collect the data and how to input that data. And now we're starting to get a little bit more sophisticated as the time goes on, but it had a click for me. So one of the simple ways that we do it is, if the user, say if you have, using that number of 100, maybe it's 10. Let's just go with 10. So you have 10 individuals that you want to get data from. So we want to make it as easy as possible for them to communicate their data. So let's say you have a platform, Telegram, Discord, WhatsApp, Slack, whatever it might be. You give them a template and you say, I need you to fill out this template. Maybe that template is in a Google form, or that template is inside of the app, the communication app. Either way, you give them a template. They input their data into that template. Then what I do is I have my virtual assistant. She goes in, if it's in like the Discord or in the Telegram or in the WhatsApp, she takes that and manually enters that into a spreadsheet. So even though it's not like sophisticated where all these softwares are communicating with another, it's getting the exact same outcome, which is the data goes into a spreadsheet that I can see at a glance. That's what matters most as the CEO of the enterprise.